beautiful friends, welcome back to another video. I hope you've been keeping very well. It is quite a gloomy, dark day on the Gold Coast today, and I thought it was the perfect opportunity for me to get a bunch of meal prep done for the week, and of course bring you along and show you what I am meal prepping for the week ahead. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 2 breakfasts, 3 lunches / dinners, and 1 snack recipe that I really enjoy making in advance to enjoy throughout the week. These are pretty simple meals that are also very nourishing and filling, and things that I just really enjoy because they are packed full of flavor and goodness and all of that wonderful stuff. Before we get into it, a big thank you to Squarespace who have made today's video possible. If you are ever looking for delicious vegan recipes, I have a website which is amandadux.com where I have a whole heap of delicious vegan recipes there for you. I'm actually in the process of working on a new website at the moment which will be out earlier next month, and I am really excited to share that with you. But yeah, with that being said, I make my website using Squarespace and I really love it. Like I mentioned, just made a new website, have found it very easy to use. There's a lot of really great templates, and honestly I just feel like it gets easier and easier to use Squarespace as time goes on. For me personally, I love it because there are so many great blogging features which make it really easy for me to upload recipes to share with you, and they also make it easy to be able to sell products like my ebook, which I'm able to sell really easily on the website. Like, I was able to set it up and I have no web design experience at all. So yeah, I love Squarespace very much. If you're ever looking to launch your own website, I definitely recommend checking out Squarespace to do so. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux and use my code AmandaDux, which will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. All right, let's start by prepping a couple of breakfasts for the week. We're going to do 1 sweet and 1 savory. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we do when making these chocolate hazelnut soaked oats is put some hazelnut milk into a Vitamix. You can use a different milk if you want to, if you want a different flavor, if there's something else you prefer. Then I add in some cocoa powder, maca powder, and maple syrup and blend this all together. I find doing this is really good because it prevents any clumps of powder or anything in your soaked oats, which I think can easily happen if you're just mixing with a spoon. And I put this milk into a jar, and then when I am ready to prep these, perhaps it's the night before or a couple of nights before eating them, I just put some oats into a container with my chocolate hazelnut milk, mix it together, put the lids on, and then put these in the fridge to soak. It is that easy. When it comes to serving, I super simply just put some fresh fruit on top. You can put some nut butter or some yogurt if you'd like to, but this is a very simple, delicious breakfast. So if you've been watching my videos lately, you'll know I'm loving tofu scramble, and to make this I start with some vegan butter in a pan, followed by some firm tofu which I mash up nice and finely. Then I add in some plant-based milk as well as some water, and I continue mashing this together to get that kind of eggy texture, I suppose. Then I add in some nutritional yeast as well as some curry powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. I also add in some vegetable stock as well as some vegan beef stock and some Dijon mustard, and then I mix this all together and leave it to cook so all of the flavors can really soak into that tofu. When it comes to eating this, I like to have it with some tomato as well as some avocado, so when I'm serving it, that is what I like to cut up in the morning, and all the rest of the tofu I will put into a container to enjoy throughout the week, and I can just quickly heat it up for breakfast in the morning. I really like this because it's high in protein, keeps me nice and full, and is a really delicious way to start the day. And yeah, I love having it just with some avo and tomato. You can definitely have it just as is if you would like to, and also some chives on top. Super super delicious. Okay, so that is my breakfast all prepped for the week. I really love the versatility of tofu scramble and the way that I can have it just as it is, or I can, most of the time how I like to have it is with some avocado and tomato on toast. Super quick, easy, and a really hearty way to start the day. As well as that, those chocolate hazelnut oats remind me so much of when I used to work in hospitality, and I would just want to have a quick breakfast that was going to make me feel really full and energized before I started a day on my feet. So really love that one as well. I'm about to get into making 3 more meals now. These are things that I like to have for lunch or for dinner. Sometimes I will have time to prep lunch and dinner during the week. Other times I simply will not. So it is really good to have things prepped and ready to go that are not only nourishing but also super delicious. So let's get into making these very tasty vegan lunches and dinners. So to make this tofu bowl, I started with some firm tofu and I cut it into cubes. This just looks so satisfying to me, the way that it was filmed. It looks so good. Anyway, then I put this tofu into a bowl and I very simply just put some store-bought teriyaki sauce on it and tossed it all together before transferring it onto a baking tray and baking in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. I also made this peanut butter sauce with some peanut butter, teriyaki sauce, sesame oil, and some lemon juice. You could also use lime, as well as a little bit of water. I just put it in a jar and shook it all up until it made this really creamy, pourable kind of consistency. Super delicious. To go in the bowl, I also prepared some cucumber, which I just cut into quarters and then sliced it up, and I also used a carrot. I used a julienne peeler to get these nice shreds of carrot. I also cut up a head of broccoli into florets, and then with this broccoli I put it into some boiling water to soften it just for about 5 minutes to get it nice and well cooked. And so yeah, when it comes to putting this bowl together, I started with some cooked white rice, which I prepared in a rice cooker. Then I added in the cooked broccoli that I had prepared, as well as the carrot, of course, followed by my cucumber. I love adding cucumber to nourish bowls because it's just so easy. And then some of that baked teriyaki tofu. I also drizzled it with some of this sauce and kept the rest of the sauce in a jar in the fridge to enjoy if I'd like to add more or on something else during the week. I love chickpeas very, very much. They're probably my favorite source of protein, and to make these barbecue chickpeas, I put them into a bowl with some olive oil, barbecue sauce, as well as some liquid smoke, then some salt and some pepper, as well as some onion powder and some smoked paprika. I mixed this all together until all the chickpeas were nice and well coated, and then put them in the oven to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. I love having barbecue chickpeas with couscous, so I prepared some couscous over the stove as per the packet instructions with a bit of vegan butter as well, and I mixed this all together until it was nice and well cooked. I also made a creamy sauce with some vegan mayo, Dijon mustard, and some lemon juice, which I just mixed together until it was nice and smooth. I also, as I was mentioning, love cucumber in these kind of nourish bowls, so I cut up a cucumber as well, and then it came to serving it all up. So I have the couscous in my containers, followed by some of those barbecue chickpeas that I love so very much. I also added in some spinach as well as the cucumber that I had prepared earlier, and drizzled with some of that creamy sauce that I had made. Super simple, very nourishing, keeps me full, all of the good stuff, and yeah, chickpeas are just so delicious. So to make this pasta, I started by putting a punnet of cherry tomatoes and a couple of cloves of garlic onto a baking tray with some olive oil and some salt and pepper tossed through, and then put this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until the garlic is nice and soft basically. I then also cut up 1 brown onion into fine pieces. I definitely was literally sobbing so much while I was cutting this onion. It was one of those ones. And I put this into a frying pan with some oil, fried it up before adding in those baked cherry tomatoes and garlic, as well as some tomato paste. So I kept cooking this up and really mushing that garlic to get it nice and even throughout before adding in some tinned tomatoes and some lentils, and once again whipping out this potato masher and mashing it all together. I then added in some cooked pasta, which I mixed together, and then put this into containers. Super simple. You could definitely add more veg into this if you would like to, but I like to keep it nice and simple with a tomato lentil pasta. Okay, that is my lunches and my dinners done. Feels really good to have those done for the week, and I'm really excited I have some nourishing food to look forward to. It is definitely a very gloomy day today and I am losing light very, very quickly. However, I want to make one more thing, which is a nice little sweet snack for me to have throughout the week. You probably know by now I love a sweetie treaty, and I especially love to have one in the afternoon. Are you laughing at me?
I'm so sorry, I'm laughing at you, I'm laughing at us on the podcast. Oh. I knew you were filming, but it came out involuntarily.
No, but you literally laughed at the same point that I said, you know I love a sweetie treaty. Oh, and I was like, you would laugh at that, yeah. So right now I'm going to show you my favorite sweetie treaty that I like to make that can be kept in the fridge to enjoy throughout the week. And I think I'm going to make quite a few of them because they're really yummy. I don't want to have a lot of them. Anyway, let's do the thing. So making these chocolate peanut butter balls is very simple. I put some almond meal and some salt into a large mixing bowl, and then I also add in some peanut butter. You could use a different nut butter if you like, as well as some maple syrup. I start mixing it together with a spoon, and then of course end up using my hands for the ease of it all, and I just get this mixed very, very well. Then basically what I do is I get the dough that I've made, I suppose, and roll it into balls, and then I have melted some vegan chocolate with a little bit of coconut oil, and I just dip all of these peanut butter balls into the chocolate and coat them nice and evenly. You definitely want to put this on some baking paper before you put it into the fridge so that it doesn't stick to everything and it is easy to use. But yeah, these are super, super simple to make. I also really like to put a little bit of salt on top, just for a little bit of extra flavor. Chocolate and salt go very well together. Alrighty, and that brings us to the end of all the meal prep that I am doing today. I hope this gave you some new ideas on things that you can make to enjoy throughout the week. I'm gonna leave a link to a blog post that I made on my website down below where you can check out the recipes that I made in today's video. Keeping in mind, I made these to make like 2 meals, so definitely feel free to multiply the ingredients so that you can make bulk meal prep for the week if you're wanting something for every single day. Let me know if you enjoyed this meal prep style video. I'd definitely be happy to make more of them in the future if you got a lot from it, so be sure to let me know. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye! Oh, and Tiggy says bye too. You gonna say bye? Yes, okay. Bye!